Hundreds of years ago, in the minds and lives of the Japanese, whales were not simply giant.
Creatures of the ocean but also valuable resources. An image associated with the harshness of the ocean and the spirit of endurance of the fishermen. The Japanese are an island nation with limited
agricultural land and few natural resources. So they have long developed a local culture
closely tied to the sea. In that picture,
whales appear as a giant gift from the ocean, providing huge amounts of meat, oil, bones, and
many other parts that can be utilized. The appearance of whales.
Since the 17th century, Japanese coastal fishing villages have formed specialized whaling teams.
Initially with only rudimentary tools, such as spears, wooden harpoons, ropes, and small sailing boats.
In Japanese life is not only in the aspect of food, but also in beliefs, literature, art, and collective memory.
They coordinated with each other according to traditional rituals passed down through many generations.
hunting a giant whale meant that the whole village would be full for many months, and whale sacrifice rituals were performed.
Express gratitude. Expressing the belief that the whale spirit,
Kayama and Kyushu regions. Whale shrines, Kujira Jinja, appeared as part of the local spiritual cult,
where people revered the souls of whales that sacrificed themselves to feed people.
Hey, get that net over here! The process of hunting and butchering whales was also gradually standardized. When a whale is spotted
at sea, the whaling ship will pursue.
The whaling ship will approach at high speed, using a harpoon gun to shoot at the back, near the head, or right at the chest, where it is believed to cause the most fatal damage. The harpoon is often equipped with explosives, so that when it penetrates the whale's body, it will explode, destroying internal organs, and causing
the whale to die more quickly. However, in reality, many whales still struggle in pain for a long time before dying.
When the whale is dead, a cable will be hooked to the carcass, and support ships will pull it to a butcher.
Station, on shore, or on a large mothership offshore. Here, the whale butchering process takes place
in a methodical and industrial manner. Workers with long, sharp knives will begin to peel off the thick layer of skin and fat. Then divide the red meat. Organs, bone,
and other parts. The meat of the red whale is cut into large pieces and processed or frozen.
The animal is so big, so we're trying to separate the bones from the blubber.
The blubber is boiled to produce oil for industrial use or as food. The blubber produce oil for industrial use or as food.
The whale bones can be ground into fertilizer, and the whale tendons and whiskers are used in handicraft
or in traditional medicine. All are utilized, reflecting the traditional Japanese
idea of not wasting anything from the animal that has been sacrificed for them. The first job is to
process the layer of skin and fat, tens of centimeters thick, covering the whale's body. The carvers stand in a line.
coordinate.
Coordinate rhythmically. Use a knife to make a long cut along the body from head to tail.
Okay, now that we have this big piece, we can work on the smaller sections. Then peel off each piece of fat.
Fat and skin, weighing tens, even hundreds of kilograms. These pieces of fat are
often rolled up with ropes, pulled up to a crane, and then transported to be cooked into oil or process.
Cast into other products. That image makes many people shudder. Because the entire
face of the whale's body slowly reveals a layer of bright red flesh, as dark as blood.
A scene that is both terrifying and overwhelming. Once the layer of fat has been removed,
the meat removal work really begins. Whale meat has a different texture from that of ordinary fish. It is similar to
mammal meat. Thick, fibrous, rich in blood. So the carpenter must know how to cut the knife along each muscle line.
cutting into large pieces instead of
being able to chop it into small pieces. Each cut requires strength, precision, and experience.
To avoid damaging the texture of the meat. These dark red chunks of meat are sent to a sorting area.
The best, most tender parts, near the fins and belly, are used for sashimi or other
high-end dishes. The firmer cuts are simmered, stewed, or ground into whale sausage.
And the less desirable parts can be processed industrially, fed to pets, or as byproduct.
No part is thrown away. All are valuable in a culture that values thrift and maximum utilizums.
Sean?
We're here today to witness the traditional whale hunt, a practice that has sustained this community for centuries. The whale's internal organs are also harvested with meticulous care. After opening the giant abdominal cavity,
people carefully remove the heart, liver, stomach, and intestines.
Liver is especially large, rich in vitamin A, and was considered an important source of nutrition during the post-war
period of shortage. The giant whale heart, weighing up to hundreds of kilograms, is dissected
to get the firm and red heart muscle, which has high nutritional value.
Into traditional dishes. Or dried as raw materials.
Because it is like dissecting a giant.
Creature, with each part clearly exposed. But for Japanese
fishermen, it is a job that has been attached to for generations. A necessary labor to feed the whole community. The whale bones are not wasted either. After the meat and organs are removed, the giant skeleton will be
separated. Many places grind it into powder to use as
fertilizer. Other places keep it for display in museums or whale temples.
Some coastal villages in Japan once hung giant whale
skulls as sacred symbols, both to remind people of the animal's sacrifice and to teach people to be grateful to the sea.
The whale tend divisions.
Dons and whiskers are dried and used in handicrafts or folk medicine.
I can see the water coming out of the blowhole.
Or industrial products. The whole process is like a closed chain of
operations, where every part of the whale's body finds a purpose.
And this is the pride of the film.
On sorts and ways. All working together like a machine that has been in tune for many crests.
Generations. Every knife movement, every pull of the pole.
Rope shows the skill and experience passed down to outsiders. It may be a barbaric sight, but to them it is noble labor, a part of a tradition that will be lost if not
preserved.
After the whale is cut up, many villages also hold memorial ceremonies, reciting prayers for the whale's soul.
Once again showing a strange mix of reverence and cruelty.
Red prayers, that's all.
Follow creates a paradox that is difficult to reconcile.
But for many Japanese fishermen,
Stop whaling. They will not only lose their livelihood but also lose part of their cultural identity. A distinct feature of coastal communities
that has been with them for hundreds of years.
Come on, let's get this cleaned up. Yeah, we're almost done here.
Mot Zai San Kan Lu Truyen. The hunting and butchering of whale.
Whales in Japan are both a historical memory and a cultural identity.
Communities. The process of butchering whales reflects the meticulousness, thoroughness, and spirit of utilizing all resources that are deeply ingrained in the Japanese mind, along with the respect for whales in belly.
The act of killing and butchering him shows a controversial cultural paradox.
History also proves that during the post-war period of shortage, whale meat once fed an
nation and left a deep mark on collective memory. However, today the consumption of whale meat.
History also proves that during the post-war period of shortage, whale meat once fed an entire nation
and left a deep mark on collective memory. However, today the consumption of whale meat
in Japan has decreased sharply. Although the industry still exists thanks to political protection and identity factors, a conflict between cultural traditions and global standards of animal conservation. For many fishermen, butchering whales is not only a way to earn a living but also a source of pride in their skills and family heritage. However, in the eyes of the outside world, the scene of whale butchering often perceived as barbaric and at odds with modern animal welfare trends.
Not only a way to earn a living, but also a source of pride in their skills and family heritage. However, in the eyes of the outside
world, the scene of whale butchering often perceived as barbaric and at odds with modern animal welfare trends. It is the tension between cultural values and environmental ethics that has made the story of whales in Japan such a long-standing hot topic.
And the future of Japan's whale cutting industry will depend on the delicate balance between biological conservation.
The confrontation between Japan and the international community clearly reflects the con.